Okay, Rocky, we are live.
All right. Good evening and welcome to CPAC Live. It's great to see everybody out there, and we appreciate you taking the time to be with us, and we appreciate everything that you do for Cincinnati Parks throughout the course of the year. As many of you know, we've been through a lot here at Parks. The last few years, we've had a lot of staffing changes. We've had a pandemic, just like so everybody had to experience, all of our organizations throughout the country. And it's just been so wonderful to see the amount of support that we continue to get from this group, from our volunteers on our behalf. And that's just so impressive. We had almost 50,000 hours, volunteer hours last year, which values at over $1.3 million. And you really can't put a value on what we get from you all. When you're talking about over 5,000 acres of parkland, 70 neighborhood parks, 5 regional parks, 34 preserves, 65 miles of trails, playgrounds, over 50 playgrounds, nature programming. We can't do it ourselves. We simply can't. So you all are the bedrock that we're built upon, and we really appreciate it. And we appreciate you bearing with us through a lot of changes, a lot of organizational changes. And I'm very confident to say we're coming out the other end much stronger. And a lot of that is because of the work that you all have put into it. So thank you. Today, we've got a lot of exciting updates as we've been talking about these reorganizations and changes, and we're excited to share them with you. So I'm really excited about the folks that you're going to hear from today and the topics that we're going to cover. In terms of the CPAC registration process, we were able in the last year to take the organization of these groups, of your groups, to the next level. And I want to thank everybody who's participated. It easily exceeded our expectations in terms of participation. We were in the mid-20s, low 20s in terms of CPACs. And after our first year of registration, we're now up to 31 official CPAC groups working for our parks, programs, and amenities in different locations. And just like the uniqueness of our parks and of our neighborhoods out in our city, each one's unique, working on the things that are important to you and that are helping fill those needs and those gaps that we have. So that's fantastic. We've got at least 5 brand new CPACs that have been fostered. We've got Walnut Woods of Evanston, Friends of French Park, Park Champion, which is the new CPAC for Ezra Charles Park in the West End, Season Good Square, and Preserve Scarborough Woods. So, and then we've got another group of CPACs that either weren't working or weren't regularly active that are now active. So on our website, there's a complete list with all the CPACs and contact information. If there's an error on there or something you want to change or adjust or a question, as always, let us know. You can email me directly at rocky.mers@cincinnati-oh.gov, or you can use our cincy.parks email address. We'll make those corrections. A couple things about today. In terms of questions, this worked really well for us last time. If you have a question at any point, please post your question in the comments. And we've got a team of folks here who are going to be looking at those comments. We'll do our best to answer them in real time and get you the information you need, or we'll have someone on the meeting address them in person. And if it's something we need to do a little research on, we'll get back to you and follow up after the meeting with an email or a phone call to get those questions answered for you. Okay. So please, at any point, no questions too small, chime in. We're prepared for that. The last thing I'll say is we like to have some fun as well. So we've got some Halloween themed park trivia that we're going to be using throughout the meeting, which I expect is going to last the next hour or so. And the way this will work is we'll throw out a question. The first person that responds in the comments with the correct answer to the question is going to win 4 free tickets to the Celestial Holiday, which is the Crone Conservatory Holiday Show this year. Celestial Holiday, it features a model as part of those of you who have been there. It's got a historic this train display of the city that's made out of natural materials by Human Nature, which is the company that we so successfully collaborate with. And this year they're featuring this beautiful new model of music hall. So it's going to be a great show. It runs November 5th through January 8th at Crone Conservatory. So the first person that responds with the correct answer will win 4 tickets. Just real quick about and I'll throw that first question out before we start with our first presentation. We have, from each of our operating divisions, we've allowed them opportunity time here today to present some important updates about their programs. These are things that are going to be important to you. You'll be hearing about park events. You'll be hearing about some operation updates, work that we're doing with our natural resource management, with our trails and invasive species, as well as general volunteer opportunities. And the timing for this really is perfect because we are getting ready to close the chapter on the existing park season, which has been fantastic. And we really head into heavy planning mode where we start looking at 2023 and what that's going to look like. And I know so many of you are doing the exact same things at your organizations, where you're looking at what kind of events are we going to have? Where are we going to focus our volunteer efforts? What do we want to fundraise for? So this really is perfect timing to make these connections. And that's what today is all about. So before I get to our first presenter, I'm going to throw out our first trivia question. And that would be, which iconic Cincinnati park structure is said to be haunted by the Lady in Black? Which iconic park structure is said to be haunted by the Lady in Black? All right, first question, correct answer in the comments will win the 4 tickets. All right, without further ado, I am really excited to introduce Jason Barron, who is our new Parks Director. I know many of you have already met Jason because in the few weeks that he's been here, I've seen relatively little of him because he's been running around the city, finding all of our parks and finding people and meeting people. His energy is infectious and he is extremely excited to participate. And so with that, I'll turn the floor over to Jason.
Hello, this is my first ever Facebook Live event. So I'm trying to figure out how to change my name on the Zoom, which I'm normally pretty good at, but I can't seem to figure out. And I'm trying to figure out how to look at the comments on my Facebook, and I can't figure that out either. So hopefully everybody can hear me. I'm super excited to be here. CPAC Live is a great example of a little bit of how I'm not needed here, which is that Rocky and his team are already doing a lot of great programming and doing a lot of great engagement to folks. And so I get to come in as the new director and just check it out and participate as best I can. This is a great way for us to tell you a little bit about what we're up to and kind of give some context across city parks, not just in your individual park, which you care about. But I'm really excited to get to sit back and watch along with you today and continue to learn all about what our great team's doing. But I think the other really important thing here today is that this example of how we want to hear from you and how we want to make our parks better and kind of engage with folks that love our parks as much as anybody. Just over the last couple of days, we had somebody reach out to us with some pretty nasty stuff they'd found in one of our parks, and we were able to get our team out there with the Cincinnati Police Department and respond and get it all cleaned up super quick. And that's the kind of response we want to have. We want to be hearing from folks. We could only kind of make parks, we're out there busting and running around all day, every day, but, getting feedback from folks out in the streets, out in the parks, getting feedback from you helps us be especially responsive and address things quicker and kind of know what's really going on out there. So, as Rocky said, we've got 5,000 acres to keep our eyes on, and we're doing our best, but we're always looking for more info and for more interaction and more feedback from folks. So I can't wait to meet all the CPACs slowly but surely, and be out at all of our parks for as many events as I can be at. But really excited to be with you today, and can't wait to meet everybody.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Jason. And I can vouch that we can all take that to heart. Jason will be out in your park. I can guarantee you that with his dog Watley, who's usually at his side. So thank you. Yeah. And, as I said before, over 47,000 volunteer hours. You're the ones that are out there working with our staff at the field level on a daily, weekly basis, planning events, that work's happening. Those conversations are happening. The new registration process has allowed us to have good lines of communication and understand who you are, who your contacts are, what your structure is. Do you have, social media pages that we can use to help promote your events? All that kind of basic information is happening. And these larger meetings are really an opportunity to step back and share with you some bigger picture stuff about what's happening in parks and what to expect. So awesome. Jason, we're so happy to have you here. And what I'd like to do now is bring up our next presenter, who is Joel Gross. He started in April. He's our new division manager for planning and design. And Joel has made an unbelievable impact on our organization in a very short period of time in the 6 months that he's been here. As many of you know, we've got all sorts of needs, unmet needs out in our parks in terms of capital projects, wants, plans, a lot of that work. And with the pandemic and a lot of the staffing and funding challenges we've had, there's been a backlog, and that's no secret. And the work that Joel and his team, what you're going to hear, the work that they've done to get their arms around this backlog, get everything organized, and really put us in a position to be as responsive as we can to what you all are trying to do for us in our parks is phenomenal. And I'm very excited to bring up Joel, who's going to tell you a little bit more about that. And so he's here with me, and he'll be taking my seat. So Joel will be up in just a second.
Hello, everybody. Think you can hear me. As the director said, my name is Joel Gross. I'm a professional engineer. I'm the division manager of planning and design here at Cincinnati Parks. I'm incredibly fortunate to be in this position because we have an amazing amount of projects going on. So many things that are going to change our city for the better. We can't wait to do all these things for you, and we certainly need your help with all of those things and bringing the most important ones of those projects to our attention. So thank you for all of you that have reached out so far to help me get my arms around a little bit of the things that need to be done within this system. So a little bit about myself. I'm a professional engineer. I've been a professional engineer since 2014. I went to University of Cincinnati for civil engineering, graduated in 2010 from civil and environmental engineering at UC. I've spent about the last 15 years, half and half, doing environmental engineering and transportation engineering with a focus on LEED, sustainable neighborhood development, and all of those sorts of things in between. So roadway design, a lot of stormwater management design. I've done major grading projects and athletic complex design, been the lead designer on those kind of things. I've also spent 7 or 8 years doing mechanical design and ventilation design. So I have a handle on pumps and any of those kind of things that are within our parks. So I like to think that I have a pretty diverse background that helps me anticipate some of the problems that we have maintaining our parks facilities.
I'm beginning to learn so much science hanging out with Joel. I feel like I'm getting smarter every time I talk to him. So when he tells you that he knows about pumps, he not only knows about them, but he's really good at explaining them and helping others understand them too. So it's a pleasure. Anyways.
Yeah. And to piggyback on that, what Jason said, just for me, it's the people that work here really, really care about what we do. And there are so many experts across our whole organization, from event planners and people that know that like the back of their hand, to folks that, know more about trees and vegetation and invasive species than anybody on the planet. So it's fun for me too, to get to work with this great group of folks. We promise you that everybody here deeply cares about our park system, and we want to make it better every single day. So the rest of my team for the moment consists of an amazing architect named Chris McGee. He is phenomenal. He's done some amazingly huge projects, and he knows anything and everything there is to know about preservation and adaptive reuse of our buildings. I work with him every day, and like Jason said, I learn from him every single day. So he's great to have. We also have Matt DeBona, who is a GIS specialist. He is helping us get our arms around all of the data that we need to properly manage this system. So we're working in a lot of analog plans and things like that that are on paper and not necessarily in digital form, that if we had in digital form would make our lives a lot easier to communicate with other departments and even other places around the world as we design some of these parks. So we have several people that are focused just on putting that stuff together right now and helping us communicate better with everybody. We are working to hire 3 additional folks. We're looking to hire a junior architect, a junior engineer, and a senior engineering technician, which will help us with a lot of the field work that we do. We have 3 additional staff in our office at the time. We have an administrative technician that helps us kind of coordinate some of the things that we do, get back in touch with the community, coordinate interdepartmentally, and 2 co-op students who are helping us kind of archive some of our history and work towards cataloging a lot of the things that we need to take care of in the next few years. So that's a little bit about our team. Like Rocky said, and Jason echoed, we manage about 5,400 acres of green space and parkland. That's a whole lot to me. I think we have the biggest forested park system in the country, which is a point of pride for us. And we're working towards ensuring that we have a healthy canopy to go along that in every one of our neighborhoods. So there's many, many things that we're working on. My office is kind of mostly in charge of planning, administering, overseeing, and assisting in all of the maintenance and capital improvement projects that we do. We also help with legal. Anytime that anybody wants to come on our park property or do a project or buy land from the park system or even sell us or donate land to us, we kind of review all of those kind of things and ensure that there's no issues that would harm the park system or any of our lands. We are always overseeing about 100 projects at any given time that are already funded through the city system. And we are working towards probably 20 or 30 more projects at any given time that are in the hopper that the board's already said these are good projects to pursue. And we're working towards getting those into the funding system and getting them on the schedule to be completed. Worked with many of you. Those involve PACs all across that system. And thank you for your help in honing some of those projects and making them successful for us. We're going to need a whole lot more help as we get our arms around everything that needs to be done in every park. Let's see. Beyond all of those other things, I mentioned that we're trying to get organized. I'm kind of skipping to the initiatives, Kelly, my bad. I mentioned a little bit on the organization. That just shows you a little bit more about how we're organized. Like I said, I'm the division manager. We have Chris McGee, an architect, and we're hiring another architect to help round out conceptual plans and some estimation in that team. Our administrative team helps us keep track of everybody in between contractors to interdepartmentally. Charmaine does a whole lot to help keep us organized. We're working towards rounding out our engineering department, and they will focus on many of the street projects and retaining walls and those kind of things, coordination with some of our consultants to help with those. So we're looking forward to adding another seasoned engineer to our team as soon as we can. And we're actively trying to recruit for that position right now. And as I said, we have tried to rekindle our co-op program. Both myself and Chris McGee are Bearcats, but our reach is not limited just to UC. We would love to have some Xavier folks and NKU and many of our different local colleges to come and help us preserve our park history and work towards infusing new ideas into how we catalog the system and move things forward. Beyond all of those initiatives, we're working to create a whole lot of different digital components and project management tools for a system of this size. There's not a out-of-the-box system to manage this kind of stuff. So some of it you have to kind of build and program on the fly. We're working towards that right now with our GIS specialist, Matt DeBona, so that we can talk to each other better and provide a better way for everyone to kind of communicate with us. So the last thing I'll say about that is, as you saw those 2 lists we had together, those are the projects that are active and they're already kind of in the hopper for things that we're already supposed to be doing. There will be a 3rd list that we'll start sending out as a part of our monthly board update that will be all of the projects that are in consideration. That means those are projects that we're already aware of. Many of them could be community budget requests or CPAC initiated requests from the communities that we want to hear about. Those projects, we're not 100% sure what they're going to cost yet, what the size or scale will be, but we know that there's a need to be completed or more investigation is ongoing. So that should also be a tool as that rolls out over the next couple of months that will give you all some additional accountability on my end. If you don't see that project on that list, it's more than likely not on my highest end radar. So that will give you a tool to kind of come back to us and let us know what we need to be doing. With that, I will turn it over to the next folks. I'm looking forward to working with all of you. It's very nice to meet you and the ones that I have, and I'm looking forward to meet many more of you and working with you for years to come. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Joel. We appreciate that. As I said, if you haven't already, you are quickly going to be seeing the fruits of the work that Joel's doing very quickly out in a park near you. So I want to let you know that we have a winner to our first park trivia question. So we'd like to congratulate Mark Robb, R-A-A-B, I think it's Rab or Rob. Congratulations. The correct answer is the Spring House Gazebo in Eden Park. The lady in black is said to be the ghost of Imogene Remus, who was tragically murdered by George Bootleg King Remus, who shot her in Eden Park on October 6th, 1927. So that's spooky. Congratulations, Mark. We'll follow up with you. The show hasn't opened yet, but we'll follow up with you and make sure that you get those tickets. And let's see, for that, I will throw out our next trivia question. And this one doesn't go back nearly as far in time. In which nature preserve does Explore Nature's Halloween hikes take place? Which nature preserve does Explore Nature's Halloween hikes take place? Please be the first in the comments. All right, with that, I would like to kick it over to our friend, Jenny Mobley, who is our Deputy Director, and she's going to go through a few operational updates for you. Jenny.
Well, thank you very much, Rocky. Just wanted to take a moment to make sure that everybody on this call that may not completely know who the contacts are and how we operate in operations. So first, I just want to say that we are separated in 3 different districts: the East, West, and Waterfront, Riverfront. In the East District, your regional manager for that area is Dave Boutel, and the district crew leaders are Nick Cook and Kevin Temple. They handle all neighborhoods ranging from Kennedy Heights down to California. They handle partial of Clifton, a part of Clifton, Eden Park, and all the way out to Alt Park. So that's kind of what their district looks like. And I'm sure most of you have met them, but wanted to make sure that, is it not sharing?
The slideshow doesn't work for some reason. Sorry, everybody, on Facebook Live. So if we just go to your PowerPoint that you pulled up, go to your PowerPoint in general.
So sorry.
No, it's we don't understand all technical difficulties. So just display it like this and it will show.
Understood.
I don't really know why.
Thank you, Kelly. Sorry for that. And so then next we have the West District, that the regional manager for that area is Matt Hood. The district crew leaders are Joe Fisher and Angie Carlos. They handle the district that ranges from Sailor Park to College Hill, Price Hill, and then also the other part of Clifton. And then finally, we have the Waterfront District, who handles all along the entire scope of the riverfront from Friendship Park to Smale. They also handle to Central Parkway and the downtown parks in between, such as Pyatt and Lytle. So I have the contact information on here. If for some reason you were not able to get that information, I'm sure we can make sure we get these slides to you so that you know who to contact if you have a problem in your area. The operations responsibilities are of many, but here are the list of a few things that we do. We certainly maintain the lawns by cutting the grass. We have a lot of restroom care throughout the season, litter control. We prepare the shelters for any reservations or first come, first serve shelters as well to make sure that they're ready for all the patrons. We also handle dumping that happens throughout our parks and along the roadsides. We do playground inspections as well as maintenance on the playgrounds themselves. We do snow removal during the winter, event care for all the events that happen throughout the entire city of Cincinnati and our parks, as well as we do horticultural maintenance with floral displays and floral beds throughout. I know that is a short list, but trust me, they are certainly busy throughout the park system all day long and all week long. You may ask, what do we do in the winter? Because I hear often that, during the winter, it must be hard to keep your staff busy and not outside, but that is not the case at all. There are things that we need to do to prepare for the winter, as well as during the winter to prepare for the next season when spring and everybody's out and wanting to get into the parks again. So we do winterize everything prior to winter. Our restrooms, I wanted to make sure everybody knows that our typical season for our restrooms is April 15th through October 15th. And the reason for that is because a lot of our restrooms do not have heat within them. Even some of them do not even have electricity. We go by the daylight. So I just wanted to make sure everybody knew that, restrooms will start closing if they have not closed already this week. There are some that remain open, and you can certainly go to our website to see that full list. But that is the reason why we shut them down, due to weather conditions, especially now that it is getting very cool at night. During the winter, we do a lot of picnic table prep. We will scrape them, paint them, get them ready for the next season, or we will remove some of the picnic tables that have not quite done so well throughout the season or through the years. And that, in fact, is something that we are doing more this winter than probably previous winters. We are trying to take an inventory of all our areas for picnic tables and make sure that we get on a nice replacement schedule for those picnic tables. There are some that just have really weathered throughout the years and are really permanent in the ground. So those picnic tables that need to be removed will certainly do so this winter as well. We do a lot of equipment care, preparing our tools, making sure everything is working properly, putting the proper oil on our chainsaws or anything else that needs to be maintained before the season begins. Floral bed cleaning, which is very important for the beds themselves, to make sure that they regenerate for the next year and are prepared for the new plantings. We do some mulching in the winter time, which I know some people feel that is odd and it's only a spring activity, but there is a lot of mulching that actually protects some of our trees and our beds and the grounds and the bulbs that are in the grounds in order to make it through the winter properly. So we do some of that mulching, and then we will certainly spruce everything back up in the spring to be ready. We execute our snow plan. We have a snow plan that is prioritized in 3 different categories to make sure that we are trying to cover all areas. High traffic areas are obviously our priority 1, as well as our streets. And then it becomes more of the sidewalks or pass-throughs through the park. So if we have a heavy snow event, please bear with us. We will certainly try to get everything open in a reasonable amount of time so that you can still enjoy the parks. We do a lot of our event planning during the winter as well. We meet with, you'll be hearing from Lou Sand, who I think I failed to mention is the regional manager of the Waterfront District, along with Scott Binns and Casey McCann as the district crew leaders. But they will be meeting with all the event coordinators throughout the year and or throughout the winter to prepare for their events and get all the logistics all figured out by the time their event season rolls around. And then lastly, we do a lot of spring season prep and improve our processes and or prepare for the next season. We have a lot of meetings to see what went right, what went wrong, how can we create efficiencies for the next year before everything gets super busy. And then we will also start lining up our volunteer events. So that is all I have. It is very nice to see everybody again, but wanted to make sure that you had the contacts for operations. I know sometimes it can be confusing on who do I contact for what. So hopefully that was helpful for the future.
Thanks so much, Jenny. And yeah, I mean, operations are really the sort of the meat and potatoes of what we do. I am continually impressed by the staff that they've got over in operations at all levels, how responsive they are, how much they care about our parks, how well they know our parks. They're out in them all day long. I just, every chance they get, stop and thank them for the work that they're doing. So thank you so much, Jenny. The winter time, she talked about mulching. Those are really easy projects to put together. We're always happy to drop a load of mulch and work with you. It's a quick, easy way to spruce up your park. The two big seasons for that are spring and fall, obviously. It's a big misconception that there's nothing to do in the winter. There's plenty going on. So it's a great time to get organized. If you've got requests, questions about picnic tables and benches and those sorts of things, let us know. Thanks, Jenny. All right, I want to congratulate Mary Beth Groene. That's Groene. Mary Beth has won 4 tickets to a celestial holiday at Crone Conservatory for getting the question correct. And the question was, in which nature preserve does Explore Nature's Halloween hike take place? And the answer is Caldwell Nature Preserve. So congratulations. All right, now I'd like to bring it up somebody who I'm sure many of you know and work with and love, and that is Lou Sand. Lou is coming off of just a sizzling hot weekend down at Blink, and really a sizzling hot event season in Cincinnati Parks. Those folks have been working hard with you. Every year, it's growing exponentially in terms of how many organized events that we're working with all of you on for your parks, for your communities. And it's just fantastic to see. Lou's passionate about it. He's going to give you a little overview of what we did this year, and then give you some advice on how to best position your park for the upcoming event season. All right, Lou Sand.
Gotta love that introduction, Rocky. The man with the silver tongue. Okay, I'm gonna have to grab my glasses or I won't be able to see my slides. Well, again, many of you have worked with me in the past, and I'm sure we'll work with our team again in the future. And today I'm going to be describing to you a little bit about what we've done in 2022. As Rocky alluded to, I think we had a very successful and aggressive season that I'm very proud of. And it truly is a delight to work with you all out there on putting these projects together and really adding value to our community. So starting from the beginning, my name's Lou Sand. I'm the regional manager for the riverfront and downtown parks, but also special events. And a big part of special events is the partnership and community events program. Again, I'll be recapping real briefly, I promise, Rocky, what we've done in 2022. This first slide here that you'll see, all the circles of various colors show actually how well we've been able to grow the program from just a few parks in 2018 to a coverage in 2022 that virtually covers the entire city in terms of having viable, family-friendly programming within 1 mile, which would be considered walking distance. And that really is one of the primary goals of our program, is to be able to offer that type of programming throughout the city within walking distance. Okay, so a brief recap of what the goals are for the program. One, and first and foremost, to build strong community-based partnerships. And frankly, our primary partner is or are the advisory councils of our parks. We want to support the Cincinnati Parks mission, those basic principles of clean, safe, reliable, beautiful, and enriching, enhance the park's brand and image, and ultimately to improve the neighborhoods and the quality of life for our citizens. Here are some of the program elements that my team brings to the table. Again, it's a partnership-based program. Our primary partners are our advisory councils, but we also do partner with community councils and business associations in the various neighborhoods. The program can provide seed money through the AMP program for music-based programming. We can provide event production support as required, staff support either from my event staff at the riverfront or regional support, again, as required. Then obviously the use of the venue or your park in which to hold the event. And we also have other additional support capabilities. We built a stockage of games. We also have an audio team that can be tapped in to provide a PA system or sound support if we're doing live music programming. So now let's go through a quick rundown of some of the parks that we've done and what happened in 2022. As you can see, for Stanberry, we had the Friday night funds. That was the first Friday, June through September, which was a music-based concert program. We did movie nights. There was a family fun day in May, and upcoming there will be the pumpkin chuck. Here's some pictures of people having a great time in Stanberry Park. Kennedy Heights, that has the Play in the Park program. Those are Wednesdays, June through August. They usually do 2 that are music-based and typically do an enhanced one in July. I don't think they did the enhanced one in July this month. But anyway, it's a weekly program that has been very successful and has really turned perceptions for the Kennedy Heights Park around, since its inception. Nice pictures. Now, Olden View. Olden View had 2 events this year, 2 concerts, and in the park after dark movie night series. There also was a Kids Fest on the 3rd of July and a yoga in the park program. Here's some nice pictures of the Family Fun Day in July. Rapid Run, we had a number of or 2 combined movie or music and canoe nights. Then there was a music and craft night, and in September there was Madcap in game program. Canoes obviously are a big hit there at the Rapid Run Lake. And a special shout out to Mary Jo Baisley. I hope she's on here. Her and I have worked since the beginning of time together. Hi, Mary. Some great pictures there. Mount Echo, we work with our friends at the Mount Echo Advisory Council, Eric, primarily to produce Riverfest West. This was actually our 4th year of the program. Family-focused all-day event, again, very successful. There was also some yoga in the park as well. Mary also, who's primarily with Rapid Run, but is also a big help with this program as well. And of course, Eric, you're a big partner there. With All Park, the APAC Advisory Council or All Park Advisory Council is our primary partner, and they really got it going on. They've been doing it very well, and we just provide modest support in terms of helping them book bands and things of that nature. And so they have 4 tasting events a year and 4 summer music festivals, as well as a major 4th of July celebration. Pyatt and Pyatt Park, we do the Pyatt Park acoustic lunches. They're Wednesdays, June through August in the park, midday for 2 hours. Alms, they had been doing 1 event, and Christine and her group have expanded to 2 very, very successful events. They did a May Fest and a Bluegrass and Barbecue in October. Tremendously successful, probably 600 to 700 people at each event, which is just outstanding for a park that size. They've almost outgrown the park, but so again, the Alms Park Advisory Council, which is relatively new, are just doing a fantastic job on programming Alms. Mount Airy, there was a full CSO performance at Maple Ridge, which I believe was in June. And we also did Trail Fest, which we hope to make an annual event. That was also extremely successful. And we have one more for the year, and that'll be our Hallow West event, and that will be the 29th of October. It will feature musical acts, costume contests, and it will have a food truck and some children's activities as well. Some pictures of last year's Hollow West event. Westwood Town Hall, this year we did a door grand opening event that went very well. And then also Westwood Works and did their second Saturday program as well. Bellevue, Jack Martin, is Jack out there? Jack is amazing. He has done so much in the park. They've done a monthly music series, May through September. They require really, frankly, very little assistance, except permission to use the venue. But he's done some tremendous things out there at Bellevue. They have a monthly series, then they actually even add stuff that's not even written on the slide. So hopefully, that can continue into next year. Inwood, we did there's yoga in the park. They had a community picnic. They partnered with the Clifton Cultural Arts Center, actually for a summer jazz series, and also did a 3rd of July event that included fireworks. So it was very, very successful. And the primary partner out there actually was more the Mount Auburn Community Council. So Mount Storm did a few things out there as well. Memorial Day parade and community picnic. And they also did a Shakespeare in the park. Laurel, we did monthly family fun days. A big Seven Hills Housing is a big support, partner in this park, and I was glad to hear that they now have an official CPAC, so that'll be great news. Seven Hills Housing is also a great supporter for Laurel Park. We did monthly family fun days, 2 of which were enhanced with music. There's also a full CSO performance there at Laurel and a very successful S-Fest, which included the unveiling of the brand new statue, which of course is tremendous for the community.
And we now recently renamed it to Ezra Charles Park.
That's right. I got to change my slide for next year. I'm going to have to put Ezra Charles 2023. Thank you, Kelly. That was great news. MLK, we also did a family fun day series out there, which included the items you see on the slide. Both Laurel, MLK, and the next park you'll see was a concerted effort to drive more activity and programming into what we had determined were underserved communities. So again, we had 3 parks we expanded into last year, and those were Martin Luther King, Ezra Charles Park, and Owl's Nest. Owl's Nest, we had some family fun days there at Owl's Nest that were, very successful, featuring music, games, space painting, balloon art, and food trucks. Eden Park, we did the Books Alive event, Crown Jewels of Jazz, and It's Commonly Jazz, taking advantage of the Season Good Pavilion and other portions of the park. Burnett Woods, partnering with the Clifton Cultural Arts Center with the Wednesday in the Woods series, which has been very, very successful, and I think is probably in its 4th or 5th year. We did Spring Fest. There will be a Fall Fest, which is actually this Saturday, and there was also yoga and forest meditation activities all through the summer. I know I'm feeling the heat that I better hurry up. So anyway, I want to mention in this next slide, you'll see the Cincinnati Parks Foundation has been a tremendous supporter, as well as the advisory councils, for this entire program. This program features mutual support between Cincinnati Parks and the foundation, and near continuous coordination. The foundation also helped or totally funded the Smale Family Fund, the Family Fun Days that we already spoke about, and they also assisted with the Sawyer Point Summer Concert Series down at the riverfront, as well as the Luke 5 and Be Well programs, which affected a multitude of parks in the system. So before I get into questions, I want to just quick highlight a few points of, we are closing the chapter on 2022, and now we're looking to 2023. So we're ready to aggressively start planning, basically right away. So if you're a new advisory council and haven't worked for me in the past, feel free to reach out to me or members of my team, and we'll get right to work.
We have some questions.
Questions. And then the other, and many of you already know, probably have me on speed dial, so I'll be waiting for calls.
Will the restrooms be open at Stanberry Park for the pumpkin shop?
That is actually a Jenny question, but we have requested that they are open through facility management. So
Yeah, Jenny nodded her head.
that was
yes.
Mark. Yes, is that a yes, Jenny?
As long as the weather, it is really going to
Right,
depend.
well,
We're
yeah.
already getting into the 30s, so it may be best to make sure we have some portalets for backup there. But yes, it really is going to depend on the temperatures, but I have requested the same.
Did that come from Mark?
Mhm. And
Tell
then-
Mark to give me a call tomorrow.
And then we got another question, does Alt Park still have dances?
Yeah, now they're called summer music festivals, and they are June through September on the 3rd Thursday of the month.
Perfect, that's it.
Yay, thank you.
All right, thank you, Lou, and thanks everybody who's helped work with Lou and the rest of our team for making so many of these events happen. It's amazing to see how much that program's grown just in the last few years. All right, we've got our last trivia question, and that is, which downtown city park can still to this day contains gravestones? Ooh, spooky. So be the first to chime in, and you have a chance to win 4 tickets to Crohn's Holiday Show. All right. Thank you for bearing with us. We've got 2 more presentations for you, and it's from the Crystals, Crystal Squared. And first up is Crystal Courtney with Natural Resource Management, and she's going to talk to you and give you a little update on all the work that she's been doing to get organized, to really go after our trails. Every time we do outreach or have a survey, by far the number one thing that people respond to that they like to do in our park is walk on the trails. So and we know we're behind there for a lot of different reasons historically, and she and her team are getting their arms around those issues and really handling them in a systematic and very innovative ways. And the same goes for our invasive species control management program. And between Crystal Courtney and Crystal Johnson Roberts in my shop are really looking to grow the way we're attacking these problems by having training and pushing what I like to call super volunteers, which are people that get additional training in some of these areas that can go out and then lead other groups of volunteers to do the work. So it just multiplies. So with that, I'll kick it over to Crystal Courtney.
All right, thank you, Rocky. So I'm waiting for my screen to pop up here. All right. So thank you. It's a great honor to be here. I think the CPACs are one of the most important organizations within the Parks Department and really kind of inform our process overall. So one of the things, I'm just basically going to hop right in here. So maybe. All right, so the Division of Natural Resources is made up of 4 sections. What's interesting about our division is that we're not only based within parks, but we also kind of have this citywide focus. So we have our urban forestry program, which is care of all the street trees throughout the city, as well as our conservation and land management team, which cares for all of the trees and forests and trails within the Parks Department, within the parks land. Our green space team oversees right-of-way beautification. So they do the annual BIP program, the business improvement program, which is in all the kind of downtown and or business districts throughout the city, as well as our Fountain Square and various right-of-way beautification projects. And then of course, Explore Nature, which is a 90-plus-year-old organization that does our environmental education programming throughout the department and throughout the city, partners with all sorts of different organizations to deliver connection to our natural environment. So today I'm going to focus more on 2 of these functions. I want to first begin with the conservation and land management team, and then I want to give an update of what's happening in the urban forestry program. So as many of you know, I'm sure a lot of you guys have met and worked with Drew and Greg and Garrett, who are phenomenal leaders within the conservation and land management team. We're relatively new. We just got started at the beginning of 2021. And in the first year, really kicked off by diving in deep to understand what our current condition and makeup is of various, both the trails and our conservation-based work. And with the conservation-based work, our core target was to mobilize and reinvigorate some of the organizations out there that had already been doing invasive species management, such as Preserve Burnett Woods and Northside Green Space, that have been essentially put on hold for about a year or 2 since they weren't allowed to apply any pesticides in the parks. And so we worked closely with the Parks Foundation and the law department of the city to define how we can do this in a way that protects the city's liability, as well as gives our volunteers and our team the capacity to really mobilize these efforts. So with that, we developed the trained service person training in partnership with Crystal Johnson Roberts and the Civic Garden Center and Preserve Burnett Woods, which essentially allowed us to get folks certified to apply pesticide. And because we had of our partnership with the foundation, we were able to cover the insurance requirements that came from the law department, essentially stating that, that the city would be protected of any liabilities that may arise from that. So again, in our first year, we really focused in on identifying what organizations were already out there, what CPACs were already active and doing invasive species work, and really worked to mobilize those groups by developing specific land management plans to those properties. So in that, we went in and we analyzed what the current makeup of that forest is, and kind of put together a 5-year plan as to how we would tackle specific invasive species throughout the year. Simultaneously, our trail technician, Greg Torres, conducted a system-wide inventory of our trail system, essentially going through and mapping out and updating our GIS-based trail maps, just to identify and make sure that we had all the trails within our system mapped, and then also started giving them condition ratings. And in that process found that our greatest issue on our trail system was really the fact that the majority of it was inaccessible, that the invasive species, the honeysuckle and things had overgrown the trail system to the point that you couldn't even really access the trails. And so we spent the past year really focusing on pulling back those trail corridors so that we can actually see what issues are feeding into the trail that's causing erosion and down cutting and things of that nature. So that was a big portion of what they started with, was just really getting a handle on what we have in front of us. And from that, we did a deep dive into industry standards to develop the trail and both trail maintenance, trail construction, and invasive species management kind of guidelines and standards that we wanted to employ within parks, which was then utilized to inform the training program that was rolled out at the end of last year within our operations team, and then throughout the year with various CPAC groups. The core goal in all of that, in all of this training and identifying what our needs were, was really to build the capacity of our volunteer base. And so if every time that we're going out and trying to do conservation-based work, we're having to retrain and retrain and retrain, and there's an opportunity that's missed there, because what we found is that we have very skilled and passionate volunteers throughout the park system, and they want to know, like they were hungry to know how to do this right. And so by building the training tools and delivering those training tools and giving the ability for volunteers to really mobilize their efforts as well as their background, it really helps us build capacity within our team. Because as I noted at the beginning, conservation and land management is essentially 3 people, in addition to our tree crews. So after we got up and running, we quickly realized that we were at capacity. So there were about 10 different CPACs that were already actively working throughout the system, that we were working with them to finalize the land management plans and train key volunteers. But then as soon as we got started and as soon as the word got out, more and more people started reaching out just to say like, hey, what about our park? And in that, beautiful things happened. So new CPACs were formed, and they were formed around this conservation kind of mindset. But really what it taught us from a very stark standpoint is that we're not going to be able to continue within this model. We have to think outside of the box. We have to keep building this out to where Drew and Greg and our seasonal staff aren't having to work every single weekend for 52 weeks throughout the year. In addition to that, just some of the technological shortcomings. So because there are, hundreds of volunteers that are out there that are actively doing this work, the amount of emails our crews were getting was just huge. So the capacity for our team to take time from the field and get back into the office to review and answer the typically very specific and detail oriented emails has really kind of shown us that one of the missing links that we have here is just that a larger kind of platform for folks to target specific questions in a way that allows them to elevate the hazardous nature of an issue, or kind of helps us organize on the back end what that prioritization should be for our workload internally. And so where we're going from here and where we've been kind of brewing is that, and this is kind of a vision that was born out of several months of evening meetings with folks from Preserve Burnett Woods and the Civic Garden Center and Crystal Johnson Roberts, to really kind of redefine the roles that we have within our CPACs and within these groups that are focused on conservation-based efforts. Again, starting with that trained service person, which allows a general volunteer who's willing to come back time and time again to attain the training, to take the test on better impact, which essentially gives you the lowdown on how best to apply herbicide, and then spend 10 hours in the field with another trained service person that then allows you to go out at any point and in organization with the CPAC and with our team to really start targeting the issues that we've identified through those land management plans. But what's next, and what we've realized is this is really where the capacity line hits, is that if we're also having to organize those volunteer events and lead them and, kind of give the spiel every single time as to the purpose for the management and what we're trying to accomplish, then we're not going to be able to serve the 100+ parks that we have that we really need to continue moving upon. And so this next phase is really to develop the site leader trainings, which we've defined as essentially giving you the tools to understand, what safety considerations need to be taken into account anytime that conservation-based volunteer projects are being led, how to engage volunteers from the very beginning to the follow-up of the program, as well as how to communicate that purpose in a way that you're engaging your team and the volunteers that are coming to your event, and in a way that gets them to come back again. Because what we don't want to happen is, a one and done scenario, or have a volunteer come and that they have a very poor experience because they don't feel connected to that purpose. And then from there, building upon that is what we found in some of our organizations and some of the CPACs. We do have very educated ecologists and restoration-based individuals that can easily take a land management plan that we develop and mobilize it throughout that 5-year process. And then for us, it's just checking in and ensuring that we have those pesticide records updated on a regular basis. So beyond that, I know one of the things that we're always trying to do as well is to streamline the organization of these volunteer events. If we get a call 2 weeks before you want to have an event, it's really hard to get the plan in place to identify exactly what work needs to be done. So I know one of the efforts that Crystal Johnson-Roberts has been trying to mobilize, and really just amongst our entire department has been mobilizing, is getting us to really plan out a full year of calendar events from the very beginning. And with that allows our team to guide the direction on exactly what species should be managed during those times, and what methods and what trainings we might want to incorporate throughout that time frame to really make it the best experience long term. And then one of the seeds that I want to keep planting everywhere that I go is that if you are in a park, anywhere in a park, and you have the app iNaturalist, we have essentially built boundaries around all of our parks. And so if you're in a park and you use this app, which essentially allows you to take a picture of something, say it's a bug, a plant, what have you, a bird, you upload that picture into iNaturalist, and then it gives you a range of options as to what it could be. You choose the best option, and then there's actually a super nerdy scientists out there that love this program and will go in and say yes, you're right, that was a swallowtail, and that's what we have in this park. And so we've been using this tool to help guide these land management plans. And so because there's hundreds of people out there that are snapping these photos and uploading them, and then those uploads are being uploaded within this boundary, it allows us to say within Alt Park we have 80 different plant species and 13 different bird species based on this citizen science-based platform. And so if you guys could just go out and keep chirping about that, just keep spreading the word and encouraging folks to use it, I think that's one of the key elements that we're going to be able to utilize for the future of the land management plans. Beyond that, we're also looking to go beyond the conservation-based work. Again, when we did our initial trail assessment, one of our greatest challenges, again, was the invasive species. And now that we're starting to kind of get that program under control, we're really looking for this next phase of trail maintenance and developing kind of a trail sentinel program where folks can go out and just, kind of on a regular basis, identify what's things look like. Is there a tree down? Is a bridge out? So that the 62 miles of trail that we have to cover, obviously we're not going to be able to get out there as much as you are. So if we can get this program built up, I feel like that's really going to help us streamline the work that we have to do out there and really identify hazards, have you identify hazards so that we can kind of program that in on a regular basis. Again, one of our challenges there is going to just be that technological aspect, like how does this program run on that platform so that it's not paper-based or email-based, but ideally geospatial, so that if you're out in the field and you see an issue, you can just drop a point and say, this is where the issue lies. Aside from that, we are in the throes of developing this larger scale training program with the Civic Garden Center, kind of similar to what they did with their community garden program, where it's like an 11-week course that you take from January to February, and every week it's something new. So what we're looking at is maybe doing this throughout the entire year, and maybe doing this based upon specific species that we're targeting, but again, honing in on building that structure within our volunteer base and within our CPACs that allows us to really continue to mobilize these efforts beyond those few parks that we got to start with. So some things we have underway, in addition to what I just mentioned, one of the big projects that we're really looking to get started in on is this trail plan. So essentially taking those standards and best practices that we've developed and then really building that in to define what types of trails we have out there, so that folks can, if you're interested in, you know, where are our ADA trails, where are the most rugged trails, where can I get the best workout, really kind of building that into a more holistic plan. Much like we have, like we've seen with Five River Metro, who is just like the trail god, as well as Great Parks of Hamilton County. So looking throughout the state to really kind of build that plan overall and to kind of mimic some of the best practices that are out there. In addition, we are also working with our operations team and our facilities maintenance team to really start taking the trails back, right? So there's a lot of structures out there. One of the main goals that we have is to continue minimizing the number of assets that we have to maintain. So the number of bridges and steps and water bars, because essentially whenever we have these things throughout our trail system, it's indicating that there is an obstacle that has to be overcome. So rather than dropping straight down a hill, maybe we'll reroute, get rid of all those steps and make the trail kind of flow along the topography. But either way, working with our facility staff who are professionals in construction and carpentry to kind of take care of and fix some of these assets out there that are in bad shape. We're also working on continuing to work on the trail wayfinding signage package. And so this has been rolled out in about 6 parks so far, where we're redesigning our trail loop. We're redesigning the trail system to be more of a loop system, so that as you enter the trail, you'll find a kiosk kind of at the trail head that'll show you the full map, as well as whenever you're on the trail, you're not ideally would not need like technology or a paper-based map to figure out where you're at and where you're going. So we're just getting started with this. And it is, it's building. We're getting there. We're getting reorganized around it in partnership with Jenny and Andy and his team. And then just some of the capital projects that are coming up on the trail system. So we received capital funding to redesign Mount Airy's trail system. And so that's going to be a full kind of community engagement, stakeholder engagement, feedback process, as well as bringing in professional trail developers to really identify where the best trail tread could be laid. And then doing that same work within this trail connectivity project. There's this vision to create the Cincinnati Trail, so that you don't have, no one needs to go to the Appalachian Trail anymore because we'll have the Cincinnati Trail. And then also just found out that we received some funding from the state for all parks trail system. So we'll be digging into that here in the coming years. And then also working in partnership with our friends at Cora to think about how Stanberry and that whole area around the Little Miami trail system might be conducive to some additional bike trails. So with that, it looks like Kelly's snapping at me, so I'm going to leave it at that. And just thank you very much for your time.
Wow. Thank you so much, Crystal. Yeah, as I said, you know, we really are sort of emerging from this hiatus with a new way of doing things. And a lot of that's bringing in innovative folks like Crystal and Joel and so many others. So thank you so much for that update. We've got plenty more to cover that we will be, but you know, it's a good example if you or your group hear about some of the successes that she mentioned there and think, boy, it'd be great to get something like that going in my park. We can do that. So, you know, just get a hold of us and we can make that happen. So thank you, Crystal. Do want to congratulate, this should be no surprise, Mary Jo Baisley got the question correct. Washington Park is the downtown park that still has gravestones in it to this day. So congratulations, Mary Jo. You will be going to Crown Conservatory on us this holiday season. All right. Last, but by no means least, is the other part of the Crystal equation, Crystal Johnson Roberts, who's gonna give you some updates and really thank you. And I'll say it before Crystal even does, she'll say it again. If you're not already registered and your organization's not already registered on Better Impact, please go in there and get registered, set up an account. It will make your life easier. It'll make our life easier. And hey, this year, you know, you were able to learn about free Reds tickets through that. So Crystal, the floor is yours.
Hey, everybody. Happy to be here. I'm going to keep my presentation really brief, and it's going to sort of hone in on the into the weeds of what Crystal, Courtney, and Lou talked about with their events. I'm going to share my screen. And jump right into, I guess we're not able to, okay. What you have heard me talk about over the last several CPAC meetings that we've had is our shift to centralizing, organizing, putting framework, and structuring our volunteer program. So the shift to Better Impact continues, and to improve our commitment to educate and train volunteers, to build out skilled volunteer roles, opportunities, and empower our community leaders, which is you all. Really what we do is we learn from you. We are inspired by you and your work. And so you're kind of helping lead the way in how we set all of this up for you guys. So Crystal, Courtney talked a lot about training, what's next for the program, the Conservation Land Management Program. We have added training programs to the volunteer portal to Better Impact. And we have started or continued work on training programs in a more structured way. So we have currently on Better Impact, we have the controlled bow hunting program, pesticide training. We have CIT training, which is our counselors in training, which help with summer camps and programs with Explore Nature throughout the year. It's a youth service program. Crown Conservatory, we have door guards and containment training, and we will be adding model train training to the site for the holiday show moving forward. And we also have added the Ohio Certified Volunteer Naturalist Program to our growing group of trainings that we're providing for volunteers. So in the last 18 months, 273 volunteers have been trained and certified in some capacity. That includes 109 hunters for the controlled bow program. This is the third year on Better Impact for that program. It's kind of how we were able to establish, how does this volunteer management software work? How can we use this to implement other trainings? And it's been super successful. 63 people have taken the pesticide test and are working towards the certified training, the trained service persons training, which we have 32 volunteers that are certified to apply pesticide. And so that is completely building capacity in all of the different sites that we have, CPACs and organizations leading stewardship initiatives for our natural resource program. 11 volunteers went through the volunteer leadership training this fall. And we have 9 OCVNs going through the Ohio Certified Volunteer Naturalist training. So that's we really haven't, we've always had this incredible core of volunteer support, thousands of hours each year. Rocky mentioned earlier, we had close to 47,000 hours of volunteer service in the past for the annual report from last year. And we've always had such enthusiastic, passionate advocates in our corner. What we are trying to do now is provide training, education to hone in on it and really help build out capacity. And it's going really well. I think I'm super excited about it. I just wanted to give, I know that a brief overview, which this information that I just gave of how many people have been trained and how many CPACs, more than 13 CPACs are actively using Better Impact. More than 178 events were added to Better Impact by CPAC leaders. And it's building capacity for community events, conservation efforts, and our operation efforts. That's really all I have. I'm going to send, Rocky's going to send out information from me about how to get trained on using Better Impact. If you would like to learn a little bit more about it, you can always reach out to me directly, and I love to talk about it. I love to support you in any way. We are training CPAC members currently on how to use Better Impact to organize your own efforts, from community events to conservation events and programming. It's really the way to go, everybody. It's way. I estimate the number of CPAC hours when we talk about those annual hours. And it's the number that I got was close to 2,000 or 3,000, and I'm not getting half of the hours. Like, and there's no way we're going to capture all of what you all do, the important work that you do. But Better Impact is a really great way for you all to tell the story and illustrate what you're doing to improve your parks. And that's all I have, other than thank you. Can't wait to see you guys out in the park.
All right. Thank you so much, Crystal. And Crystal really is doing a phenomenal job. She's the glue that holds so many of our volunteer initiatives together, bridging that gap between what's happening in the communities and our experts and our staff internally. So thank you so much, Crystal. As she mentioned, we will follow up with an email to everybody that was invited on this meeting that'll have a number of information in it. Explore Nature has a whole bunch of events happening coming up in the season. They've got the winter camps coming up as well. So we've got information that we're going to share for you with you there. Obviously, you already heard about Crone Conservatory show. We've got some fun things coming up this weekend. On Saturday, Jason will be out there at Mad Tree Brewing, along with our partners at Mad Tree and Dynegy and the Cincinnati Parks Foundation, handing out relief trees. That is a program where we give away free trees to property owners within city limits. Huge demand for this program. We completely sold out of our 1,000 tree allotment this year, but because those are for private property, we can't use public dollars for them. So we really are grateful to Mad Tree, the foundation, and Dynegy for making that possible. If you've signed up for your tree, don't forget, Saturday's your day to come pick up your tree, and you might even see Jason there, and you can stop and have a beer. We also are very proud to say one of our sort of seminal volunteer activities that's culminated into an additional park, the Walnut Woods of Evanston. This was about a 10-acre parcel near Walnut Woods High School that was just an unkept piece of land. It was wild, it was overgrown, and the community in Walnut Hills High School worked with us to really turn that into an accessible park. And they're having a celebration on Saturday as well. That of course couples with a volunteer event. They're going to have a tree planting in the morning and an event from noon on with a whole bunch of folks in the community. And then also maybe it won't apply to you because you're already watching, but if you maybe came into the meeting late, We are going to also send around a link where you'll be able to watch this meeting at your convenience. And I think we'll be able to post it on the CPAC page as well. So we can have that available for folks to watch for anybody that missed it, or if you talk to somebody that missed it, or somebody in your CPAC that's like, oh man, I wanted to do that. That's another advantage of this format. With that, that wraps up. I appreciate you sticking with us. I know it was a lot of information, but there's just so much going on, and we wanted to share it with you in this way. So thanks everybody who has participated. Jason, did you have any final comments at all that you wanted to mention before we close it out?
No, other than just, I hope everybody watching is as amazed as I am at all of the really awesome stuff that's going on. And I think most importantly, just the two things that stand out for me are one, the knowledge of our team and how kind of thoughtful everybody is about every aspect of the things they're doing. And that just at every turn has impressed me about coming into parks and seeing how folks just spend a lot of time. It's one thing to be knowledgeable and to know a lot, but to be thoughtful about the process and thoughtful about how we want to address things just is so much fun and rewarding for me to hear. But then also just the passion. I think that comes through as how passionate our whole team is to try to make parks awesome and better, which is just really great. And also I'm just thankful for Mark for bringing up Pumpkin Chuck. I've heard about Pumpkin Chuck for a million years. I live downtown. I've never had any, and I've just never gone. And now I'm in this new role, and suddenly Pumpkin Chuck's something that's happening kind of on my turf, I guess. And so just so happens that my 6-year-old nephew is going to be in town on the 5th. And so I can't think of anything that a 6-year-old is going to like more than to see a great Pumpkin Chuck event. And I was on your website. It looks like you have food trucks and craft beer. So that's going to make me and his dad happy as well. So I think you'll see me out there for Pumpkin Chuck here in a couple weeks. And then I hope to see anybody that wants to come out to Relief or I don't know about drinking beer that one. It starts at 8:30 tomorrow morning or on Saturday morning, but that or the Walnut Woods of Evanston new park opening, which is just really exciting. So hopefully I'll see everybody out and about. And just thanks for attending and thanks for watching, and thanks so much to my team for all the great stuff you do and reaching out to folks and kind of sharing stuff in a lot of different creative ways. So thank you, Rocky, and your whole team. And thank you for everybody that presented. And thank you for everybody that stuck with us for an hour and a half on this kind of cold day. I'm looking out at Eden Park, and even though it's a little chilly outside, it looks beautiful outside. The sun's setting. My face is shiny because the sun's right in my eyes. And I'm about to go walk around the park with my dog, which Rocky referenced, and enjoy a little bit of Cincinnati parks. So, and let's not forget, tonight at 8 o'clock, FC Cincinnati's got a playoff game. So hopefully everybody gets a chance to enjoy that and root our team on to victory and hopefully another round of success in the playoffs. So thanks a lot, everybody.
All right. Thank you so much, Jason. And thanks everybody. And yeah, this is we're heading into our planning season. So it's time, anything that you've heard today that sparks something you want to do in your park, get a hold of us, and we're here to serve and make your park and your events even better. So thanks everybody. And we'll see you in a Cincinnati park soon.